In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your VS Code for Python programming. So I'm going to open up my VS Code now, which is Visual Studio Code. Like I said in the tutorial, there are just a few plugins you would need to install to get your VS Code running properly for Python. I have a few instances opened already, so I'm going to just open a new window, which you can do by coming here to File, and you see new window. So let's go ahead and minimize the rest. I have a few opened, and as you can see, this is the new window. To install an extension, the packages or plugins that you install are called extensions. So you come over here, this icon here, you click on it, and you can search for Python. So what you need to install is the official Python package from Microsoft. I have it installed already, but I'm going to be updating it now. You just click on it, and what you do, you should see the install button here. There are other buttons, but I just need to update mine, like you need to install yours. And by doing that, you would have basically gotten your VS Code ready for Python programming. So I'm going to wait a few seconds for the update to be completed, and then I'll show you why this installation is important. Of course, there are also other packages you can decide to install that are not officially from Microsoft, but I prefer just installing what comes from Microsoft because VS Code is by Microsoft, and I trust whatever package they put out there. So the other application we want to install is Code Run. Code Run allows us to run our code in VS Code. In the tutorial, you will see a few instances where I just right click and run the code. So installing this allows that to happen. And you would see that this code runner actually allows you to run different languages. This is one of the reasons why I like VS Code and the extensions that it comes with. I'm sure other code editors out there have extensions like this, but I just prefer VS Code. Now imagine I write C++, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, and a little bit of Ruby. I don't have to install different packages to run that code. I just install a single package. So let's go ahead and install this now, and it installs. Another thing about VS Code is installation does not mean you have to restart your code editor. It installs and informs you that installation is done, and then you can start using it. You don't have to restart, you don't have to close or restart your computer or anything like that. So we'll just wait for these two things to be installed, and that is all you need to be able to write Python on your computer. So let's go ahead and open a new folder and just see that our installation works properly while that installation is going on. So I'm going to my project folder, and I'll create a new file in this project folder. Okay, I'm just going to create the file in here, so it's just the test. So test.py. And you see I already get the extension, the icon for Python, and you can install some of these things it's recommending. I think I will install this, and after you're done installing, you should see this welcome page, which just gives you an introduction to what you've just installed and tells you a few things about it and how you can navigate it. So I'm already installing the recommended extension by the Python plugin that I just installed. And then I'll go ahead and run a simple Python code and say print hello world. So I'm going to be running this code using what we just installed, that is the code runner. Once that installation is done, the code runner installation, right clicking here would give you an option to run code. So let's clear our terminal. Just use this button right here to delete that terminal, and that clears it out, so that when I run this code we can see what we actually want to see. So right click and you see run code, and then it actually runs the code. I wonder why it's running twice. So let's clear it again and be sure there is nothing wrong, and then run that code again, and it runs just once. So this is how to set up your computer for Python programming. Now you can write your code and test your code without leaving the VS Code platform.